All right. So we do have GJ. We are looking at GJ. What's going on? What's going on? Everyone watching the recording as well. What's good? What's good? Hope everyone's doing well. Yep, we have a couple pairs been looking at last week, caught some trades last week. I can go over what we went over last week and go over what we're looking for this week. As you guys, anyone that's been trading those, that NFP was 2 Fridays ago, which is major USD news or a lot of volatility. It's put into the markets. And a lot of times the week after NFP is when a lot of money is moved and a lot of the moves happen. Okay, as well. So with that being said, I'm just gonna start getting into a couple pairs. Looks like gold and GJ. People want to look at right now. We're gonna go ahead and start with GJ. Start with GJ. Go over that a little bit. So I have been, for those of you guys that don't know, I actually got started trading back in 2018. So this is my 4th year trading, and it's something that I put in day out, every single day for years at a time, years straight. And gold really became my go-to. Gold really became my go-to pair. And hey, what's going on, Eduardo? How are you? Okay. So we'll have everyone stay muted. And if you'd like to ask a question or add something, you can unmute. Just let me know ahead of time. Yeah, we will go over gold. Gold, there's a lot going on in gold. Right now, like long-term things are setting up, things to be aware of. We have GJ with Bitcoin, DXY. Big move here on the DXY. It's been bullish. It's headed up to this monthly order block. For those of you that know any smart money, you're aware that it's pretty much bullish until it gets up here. Anything that comes down is temporary. It may make a little bit of movements. You don't know how quickly it's going to go up there. However, we do know when it does go up there, that's when we'll see the reversals, likely happen, from there at that point in time. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Okay. So we have gold. Did you guys care which one we go over first? I can go over GJ, Bitcoin, gold, and you. Let's see GJ. So where is GJ? Do I see GJ on here? Yeah. So I'm gonna turn this music down a little bit. So on GBP JPY, we caught an entry last week, early in the week, and it kind of just took off, and it has not looked back. Like there was one tiny little retracement, but it didn't really give much. Kind of go into, always look at the top first. Always look at the higher time frame first. Top down analysis. What I've learned from the very beginning of my journey. Look at the monthly. Where's it going? Look at the weekly. Where's it going? And if you look on GJ, on the weekly, you're gonna look left here. You're gonna see this range, this candle right here on the left. GJ has been going up to, and inside this candle, there's actually a daily order block a little bit higher at about 172 or so, which we are basically taking up to at this point in time. So on the smaller time frame is where you look for the entries. All right, what's going on? Welcome on here. So see, what we took last week was, it was textbook. It was a textbook entry. For me right now, one of my trade setups that I always look for is a super liquidity, right? Which is pretty simple at this point. It had the liquidity right here. Which in other words, where's the money? You know what I mean? Where's the money? Where are the stop losses? Where do retail trader have their stop losses at? And then if you look left, there's a nice order block here, last down candle before the up move, right? We'll go ahead and mark this here. And if you look, it basically came down, wicked it, and I actually entered off of this bullish engulfing candle. So it had a nice risk reward. Take profit one was like, I think it was just like right above here. And then the next take profit was like right around here, or right up here in this area or so. So got a really good risk reward on this, and it just kind of just went straight up. It doesn't happen always like this. Not every time you take a trade is it just going to go straight up. But GJ, it actually just has been just gone. It's just been keep going up. And then we caught a re-entry when this happened right here. Made a little bit of some short-term liquidity and then came in, gave this candle confirmation. If you guys are aware, there's actually this app. I recommend getting this app. It's called JCP, Japanese Candlestick Patterns. And it's something I learned in my first like 6 to 9 months of trading where they put me onto. And it's, showing you the concepts of rejection candles, confirmation candles. That's a tweezer bottom, bullish engulfing, morning star, evening star, and so on and so forth. And a lot of times they play out. A lot of times once a pair has picked a direction, and once you know which way it's going, you just basically wait for it to create some liquidity and wait for it to sweep it. And a lot of times you're going to get that rejection candle like this, and you can just enter. And we got a nice risk reward here on this one too. I mean, just like a tiny little stop loss. And then you put the take profit one at the high, you're 1 to 3 right there. And if you just take it up to the next swing high, you take it up higher and you get a nice, risk reward. Trading isn't about being perfect. It's not about being right every time. It's more about knowing what your plan is, knowing when you're going to enter, knowing when you're going to exit ahead of time, and then following through on that plan. And one thing that's always helped me is to have, that actual plan, whether it's printed out, whether it's on your chart, whether it's somewhere in your notes, like somewhere you can see it, so you can know you can follow through on it. That is really the key. Yeah, it's absolutely textbook. Like it happens all the time. It literally happens almost every day. That happens. Like it happens all the time. I'm gonna go over Bitcoin as well very briefly. Bitcoin is very similar to GU, and then we'll get into gold and everything because I really want to go into gold. Gold's what I look at the most. And one thing I've learned from Zach and Jordan, who are on Go Live in the platform, and they always talk about how fast won't last and slow will grow, right? So basically on Bitcoin, there really wasn't much to think about. I mean, for me, I just look at it as a risk reward, good risk reward setup. It swept out. Where did it go? Let's see. Yeah, it just swept this low right here, just barely, and then it gave us once again the confirmation candle as well. What's going on? Who just joined in here? Oh, what's going on? What's up, Adam? What's going on, Adam? How are you? Adam? What's going on? I'm Jordan. Nice to see you on here. I'm not sure if we met. I can't tell from your picture. But hey, man, I've been trading for about 4 years now. We have a little group here we're building right now. Got some people on the Telegram. Some people joined from Snapchat. Some people joined from Instagram. I'm not sure where everyone got the link. I sent it out to a few places. Kind of just going over some trades tonight, some setups, kind of give you a little bit of trading psychology to help you through the week as well. And we'll get into some trades. We'll get into some trades, guys. I'm here for you for support. I do believe that iron sharpens iron. It's always good to have a community. It's always good to have some people, that they're like-minded, go in the same direction in life. Something that always helped me, especially in those tough times. It's good to have a positive support group as well. So, I mean, on Bitcoin here, it just kind of, let me see where I actually entered this. I don't even know where I entered this. I entered it somewhere in this area. I don't know if it wasn't really a perfect entry. It was just kind of like, yeah, this one's going, and when you have proper risk reward, you can follow your intuition to a certain degree. And, I'm someone that always talks about spirituality, very spiritually connected. And, and I rely on my intuition a lot of times. And I do have that X factor in trading is the intuition. You have the intuition with the smart money, with your trading plan. You're really a beast, you're really a beast. And we all already are beasts. And we're just becoming really more of who we are. And trading is just kind of like a vehicle to actually do that as well. But I entered somewhere in there, put the stop below the low, and I put the take profit. I took profits a little bit. I took some profits here. I'm holding like a very small percentage. And could have held more. It could go way up here. I don't know. I've never really been too much of a swing trader. I like to say, hey, I'm going to grab the entry. I'm going to take the intraday, take profit. I'm going to hold a little bit, and then I'm going to catch the re-entry, and I'm just going to get it again. That's just kind of my personality. I have been getting a little bit more into the patient side of things over these last month or two of trading. After taking quite a bit of time off, I've seen things in a much more long-term perspective, and I'm a little bit more patient, a lot more patient, I would say, than I was before in 2019, 2020. Yeah, so Bitcoin is just kind of same thing as GJ. It's just kind of gone, you know, like it just has, when's it going to turn around? I don't know. Like with a lot of people that just getting into the markets, like, oh my God, Bitcoin's going up. I'm going to chase it. And the thing is, what happens when you do that, you enter, where's your stop loss? Like where, like you just don't, you know, just wait, be patient. You know, I know how it is. You want instant gratification, FOMO, but just like, there's always going to be another trade. There's always going to be another trade. There's always going to be another entry. You know, there's really no point of like, oh, I missed it. Like, why did I missed it? And I should have made that much money. And you know, the trading can really play with your emotions when you really look at it like that. So I recommend also, if you check out Mark Douglas, check out Mark Douglas. He has YouTube. He is the best-selling author. He was a trading psychology coach back in the 90s, and he worked with some of the greatest traders. You know, the discipline trader and also a trading in the zone really help you on the psychology of trading as well. Okay. So Mark Douglas, recommend that. And he says, we always constantly says, guys, is like, don't look at trading as, did I win or lose? Am I right or wrong? Say, hey, how did I do over a set of 20 trades? You know, how did I do over a set of variables? I'm going to execute this trading plan for a full week. And then at the end of the week, I'm going to see what happened. Okay, then I will adjust. But to not judge your trading on a trade by trade basis, right? Which is it's a huge rookie amateur mistake, is to look at trading on a win by win, trade by trade basis. Did I do well, or did I? Oh, I lost. I must have did something wrong. No, you didn't do anything wrong. You know, a lot of times you can win, and you may have not followed your trading plan. You may have gotten lucky, and you're like, oh, well, I can just do that again. And then you keep doing that, you keep doing that, you keep doing that. It's a slippery slope, and then eventually you end up, you know, blowing your account, or you'll lose a lot all at once because you didn't have an actual trading plan, right? Or the opposite can happen. You followed your trading plan, you lost once, you're like, oh, I don't know if I can trust myself. Trade it again. Maybe I did something wrong. And that's typically the emotional trading errors that we'll make, you know, as humans, because we are human, you know, and we make mistakes. So, you know, like, let yourself be human and make mistakes. Just do so within these two words. These two phrases will help you so much, if not more than anything else in your trading career. Number one is risk management. Risk management. And number two is risk to reward ratio, right? Those two things. If you can practice proper risk management and execute proper risk reward ratio on a consistent basis without error, you are set up to be a consistently long-term profitable trader. You know, those are the two things: risk management and risk reward ratio. And you know, the funny thing is, the tricky part about trading is, like, you can be consistent for 3 months, you can be consistent for 6 months, and then you can have that one thing: your girlfriend breaks up with you, someone in your family dies, like something happens, and then your emotions get all the whack. And then you can lose and wipe months of profits, even years of profits in one day or in 1 week. And that's why you really want to have a limit on what you're risking, you know, and really stay consistently disciplined to do that. Because just 1 day of you slipping, 1 week of you slipping can really eat your profits. And that's happened to me many times. All of my journey was last 4 years. And I would say it's one thing to avoid. It's one thing to avoid is to really just get clear on your plan. Look at it as a long-term. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to do it day in, day out. You know, really look at it like that. All right. So with that being said, we also did get into EU. We also got into EU last week as well. We got multiple re-entries on it as well. And then I'm going to end it off with gold here as well. Okay, let's see. Here on Euro USD, I want to show you the long term. And I want to show you this. And I'm really excited to get into gold. I like to save it to the end because gold's juiciest for me. Is my favorite pair. That's always has been my favorite pair. But I'm going to show you EU here. Briefly, and if you look at the dollar currency index, a lot of times Euro USD is really like quite opposite. Try the quite opposite of it, and you'll look down here with this monthly order block that's playing down to. So we may see some short-term buys for a nice swing move down. Where is it going to go? I don't really know. Euro USD isn't really my favorite pair. I don't study as well as gold, so I can't really say. Like, I know, like, it may reject here. It's very likely it'll probably reject here. It could come up in the year. I don't really know. I don't really look at EU that much, but I just happen to catch these buys at the bottom as well. Let's see. So entries. And let me know, guys, if you have any questions, like, you know, what your kind of main questions are, you know, concerns. Like, do you have any mistakes you typically make? Or are you like, I want more clarity on entries, I want more clarity on exits, I want more clarity on risk to reward, I want more clarity on the trading plan, you know, or like, I'm a complete beginner, I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you freaking talking about? Like, I don't know where all of you are. But hopefully this is making sense. Hopefully this is making sense. And I'm sharing with you a reflection of what I've learned from my own experience and from the people that have taught me. Okay. So I don't make this stuff up. I don't just pull stuff out of my ass. We got in here at the bottom. And let's see, this EU wasn't the cleanest setup. However, it had a really good risk reward, so I took it. It just, a lot of times you like to look for a break of structure before you have it the entry. However, I just took it anyway. I entered it somewhere down here. We got in re-entries. Anyway, let's get into gold. Da, 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 da. Gold. First thing first, guys, I'm gonna zoom out because gold has been so juicy for me. I mean, I remember the time during COVID, guys, and we could be seeing COVID lows here, sometime by the end of this year. We may see it. The thing is with gold is I've seen this pattern, guys. I've seen this pattern that gold, a lot of times, it will move up slowly. And then it'll take 15, 20, 30 days. And I could go back and I could show you 20 examples of this, of gold moving up very slowly. And then within 3 days, it drops the entire length that it took 2 to 3 weeks to go up. And it happens all the time. When gold drops, it drops hard. And I will show you a few examples right now. Right here, boom, that was in 2 days. Boom, that was in 3-4 days. And then boom, that was in 3 days. Right there, back to back to back to back. So we may see this happen on gold again. It's very likely. It's very likely gold moves up slowly. It may take like 5, 10, 15 days. It may take like a week or two to get up to here. And then when it gets up there, it may just drop really hard. Like it just might happen. And when it breaks these lows, it may not come back. So I'm just letting you guys know, like when it breaks these lows, it may not come back for a reentry. It happens all the time. It just drops really hard. So obviously first take profit whenever we do get into this sell would be like at the sweep of these lows. It's just when you look at these lows, there's July lows, all July of last year's lows. I mean, February of last year's lows. There's so many lows, March of 2020 lows. There's so many, there's got to be so much money there. That's absolutely ridiculous that once it breaks those lows, where is it going? You got to look left and what's stopping it? What is stopping it from dropping to right over in this area? Like what's stopping it from just tanking like 2,000 pips in like 2 days? Because it could happen. It's happened so many times. And if you look left, you see it. It happened here in COVID. It dropped heavy in 1 day, 2 days, heavy. So right now we're in buys. We're in buys short term, and you can see this. You can see this dropping at any time. It could drop there, could drop here, but that's kind of what we're looking at on gold. And it gets really juicy here is if it lines up the DXY, because as the dollar, if you look at this, guys, this is really juicy. I really hope you're checking this out because this can really be a nice move here. As the dollar's going up, gold goes down. So, and then as that's up, and that may be the swing, that may be the high on the dollar. It could break through and we'll see how it reacts there. But there's a very high probability that could be the high on the dollar for quite some time. Like that could be like the high of the year for the entire next year, next couple years. So with gold, you may be seeing the low on gold for the next couple years. Now, could it break that? Could it go lower? Sure, it could. It's possible. You just know COVID had the news manipulation with Trump and Putin, and back in 2020, if you guys remember that, I don't know if you were trading at the time, but I remember gold just randomly out of nowhere, it broke all-time highs, and then it was almost like by just the most magical force of the universe, it just dropped like randomly. I mean, it was COVID, but it just dropped so randomly, like all at once, like right here. It broke out of all-time highs, and then suddenly it drops 3,000 pips in a week. Like it normally, the normal movement on gold, if you look at it, it takes a lot of times in a week, it'll stay within a 500 to 600 pip range. And then it dropped 3,000 pips in 1 week, so like in 5 days. So that type of movement, that is banks, is manipulation. So you may be seeing this. What's going on? Anatoly? How's everything going? My brother, how's everything? What's going on? We were just on Snap together. We were just breaking down a couple different pairs. We're just going over the dollar as well. We may see gold and the dollar line up. Also with EU is very high potential. I can see that we may see this depending on how it reacts. Here, we may see this be the high on the DXY for quite some time. Could be the swing high of the year. Also, if you look at EU, this could be the swing low of the year. So this may play out. We don't know how long This will take the play out. They may line up the same timing as well. And then also Bitcoin. Also Bitcoin on the long term as well. You could see this playing out. See, is it to come down here? So a lot of pairs that had these insane like COVID lows randomly, you could see these reach at some time by the end of the year. It may take a few months to play out. However, the thing is with gold is you just never know. Like gold could just suddenly all at once in one day. I mean, I've seen gold do 800 pips in 2 hours. Like you just don't know when it's going to happen. You know where it's going to happen. You definitely know where. And that's why we want to always have our alerts set. A lot of times we know when. We do know it's likely to happen in London or in New York session, obviously, and there's more specifics of that. But I just want to share with you guys, do not FOMO on this. I'm just letting you know, like, it's very possible, not guaranteed, very possible that when gold breaks these lows, it may just take off and it may not come back. So it's very possible if that does the case, it's better to wait for it to come down here, and it could give us some price action as well. A lot of times it gives you multiple options. It gives you multiple opportunities to buy it. And I'm going to share with you an example because we actually got in this gold buy 3 different times. Matter of fact, 4 different entries. We got 4 different opportunities to get in this gold buy. So and I'm going fast and I'm excited. But most of the time, guys, you do get multiple opportunities, and that's the way it works. So this low right here, this 4-hour order block here at this time, right here at this point, it came down, wicked it, comes up, gives you initial 300 pips. You know, you can take some profits there. A lot of times the first tap, it comes back. So, and then a lot of times the second entry is where it actually is the one you want to hold. That's kind of a little bit more advanced. However, the more you focus on one pair, the more you can do that advanced stuff. What I've found personally in experience is that when you are, and we can go over some news after this. A lot of times when you have, we have about 10 minutes, okay? A lot of times when you have so many different pairs you're looking at, you may get overwhelmed, you may get distracted, you may miss something, you may not be so focused in. Whereas if you're focused on one pair or a couple pairs, it's much more easier to really kind of own that pair. You know, and I've since probably 2019, I mean, since the beginning or the end of 2018, I mean, gold has been, if I look back at all my trading journals from 2019, from 2020, and so on, 2021, I look back and gold's been about probably 65, 70% of my total trades have been in one pair. So gold is something that I look at. So that's kind of I gave you multiple chances to re-enter. Let's see. We can go over news. There is some red folders this week. There's 4 of them. 4 USD red folders, 4 days in a row. We can go over S&P. Let's see. S&P, I got in some S&P last week right there. See, I know it was just on Zach and Jordan. I was just on Zach and Jordan. Oh, we have this. Yes, we have this marked up. Okay, so how do we, let's start it off here. I'm going too fast. Just let me know. Just let me know. Okay. Sometimes I'm like super slow. Sometimes I like just love to talk like really fast because I'm so excited. And it's the coffee. So here we go, guys. This is kind of how you look at, if you're looking at the break of structure, if you want to see like what I marked and what that means. You guys, some of you guys probably know what that means. I'm guessing a lot of you guys do trade smart money, so you may know what this means. However, if you don't, whether you're new here actually on the live or whether you're watching the recording, basically what's going on here is high, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Da, 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 da. This right here is the break of structure. So what does that mean? This is the previous high. It broke structure, meaning the trend has switched to bullish bias because right, it was going down, it's going down, it's going down. This broke structure. So what happens? You just enter a buy, like, okay, it's going up then. No. You look to the left. Where is it coming back to? Where is it coming back to? Where's the money? Where's the order block? And we identified the order block. There to the left. This is another textbook. A lot of times on a higher time frame candle, it's not gonna just hit the daily and then just wick and then go. A lot of times it'll play there for a little bit. It'll go sideways. So what this actually did is it played on the open of that can or the open of the candle. It played on this candle right here. You can see, and it created some short term. Let's take it down. I'm on a Zoom call. Um, and we have, so what happened was, let's see. So it plays in the, so whenever you have like the daily, you look at the daily first in the higher time frame, and then you take it down. And what happened here on the smaller time frame was it created these lows on the temporary basis. It took off, blah, 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 blah. I didn't even see it at that time. Because I don't know, I wasn't looking at that time. It looks like it was at night because I actually traded New York session, so I'm usually asleep at that time. So the move happened in London. So the good news is a lot of times you'll have the opportunity in New York as well. So anything that happens in London, you're not really missing anything by not trading London because New York is almost, it's either going to continue what happened in London or it's a lot of times it'll set up for a re-entry and it'll give you the move. So whether it's coming back to mitigate an order block that was created in London or whether it just takes off and then it gives you like what just happened here, where it gives you like a little short-term liquidity like this. It gives you a little short-term. And then New York, right? So let's see here. We have about 5 minutes. I'll do my best to explain this as simple as terms possible. So let's say, for example, this happened in London session. It takes off, goes sideways. And let's say New York session is opened up. Let's see, where is it? New York session is open at about around this time. So if I'm looking at SPX and New York session's about to happen, I'm like, this is gonna go up. But when am I gonna enter? I am going to wait until it drops. I'm gonna wait till it drops. I'm gonna wait till it rejects, gives me the candle, right? Japanese candlestick pattern, which it gave us very cleanly multiple time frames. And that was actually my entry. And I actually took this trade last week. I don't know if it was Thursday or Wednesday it happened. It went instant profit, came back. So even if you missed it, you still get another opportunity. And then it just kind of just took off from there. Like it's just gone. Like, so looking up, I mean, SPX isn't my normal pair, but could see it's probably bullish. To me, it looks like it's bullish. I mean, I would say it could reject here. I have my final targets here. It could reject that. It's also very likely that it just keeps coming. It just keeps going up because that is where the trend looks like at this time. So that's kind of what I see on SPX at this point in time. That's kind of what it looks like. Also, if you look at the weekly, you have weekly bullish engulfing off a weekly order block. It's just very high probability that it probably is going to break this high. So it could give us a short-term sell, but I don't usually like to trade both ways like that. Me personally, that's just my personal preference. My trading plan is, let's see, Mercury. It was during Asian. That low, yeah. A lot of times it happens. There will be, whenever it moves sideways, it's just setting up for it to sweep the low or the high. It just happens over and over again. You can look back so many times, the same thing happens. I mean, it's just over and over again. And it's just over and over again. Right here, it moves sideways, and it drops lower. This happens on every pair. This isn't just certain pairs. This is every single pair that happens on. It moves sideways to set up to grab the stop loss here. Okay. Okay. So we do have like 6-7 people on here, guys. And then of course people watching the recording as well. If you guys would like, you can send me a DM. If you have my number, you can send me a text. We can go over charts. We can go over a call. Let's see. What was the question? What's your model? My model? What does it mean? What does that actually mean? Oh, no. Okay. We are, yep, okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. I mean, this is the pairs. This is the pairs we have. I mean, gold looks like continue. A lot of the pairs looks like continuation from last week. Just keep in mind the daily and weekly order blocks. I mean, really just pay off. And that's one thing I've learned, whether from Zach and Jordan, whether from ICT, whether from my own experience, a lot of those people, they kind of trade the same smart money concept. There's different people all over the internet trading this. This is what I trade. What I found when I found the most success is when I surround myself with other people. When I surround myself with other people that are seeing results, that are successful, people that are further level than me, it always builds my confidence up. Just knowing I have a support group and something always lifts me up. Things like that. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Good questions. Good questions. Good questions. Yeah, that's certainly we can get into that more. We can get into that more. That could be another training. Oh yeah, guys. I'm actually trading live. I didn't even realize. I almost forgot. I'm actually trading live tomorrow. I'm actually trading live Tuesday and Thursday. I'm trading live Tuesday and Thursday this week at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And those winning times. So we can kind of go into that as well. And we'll see. Yeah, guys. I mean, I play order blocks. I play liquidity. I play candle confirmation. Risk reward ratio. Just let that shit fly. I believe like you should be confident in yourself. You should be confident in yourself. Confident in a sense of I'm gonna let it fly, not confident in the sense of I'm gonna over leverage. Does that make sense? There's a difference. There's confidence in this is my setup. I'm in. I'm entering that shit, no hesitation, because this is my setup. Even if I lose, that's fine because my risk reward is 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 12. You really got to have confidence because a lot of times, guys, you already know. We're all spiritual beings. Our intuition, we're connected. A lot of times we have a feeling about things, and I really encourage you to trust your feelings. Trust your feelings, trust your intuition. You frame that into a trading plan, but give yourself the benefit of the doubt. You know more than you think. Trust yourself, but follow risk management. That's the key. Like the only way you lose with smart money is by over leveraging and making an emotional mistake because the risk reward's clean, the entries are clean. We all know this. Anyone that's been trading, smart money knows this. I'll go over this briefly because the limit is about to end. I gotta get a pro account. Basically, when equal lows are created like this, this was an trade I took. The bias was already a buy. It already went up. It already switched directions. Gave us a little bit of liquidity right here, like stop losses, right? Double bottoms, double bottoms, and then a candle takes it out. Boom, and then it rejects, it wicks,